Here are all the changes I made to my training camp to make sure I don't feel like shit. At the moment, I'm in Iten, Kenya, doing my second training camp here ever. During my first training camp, I did a lot of silly mistakes that meant I couldn't really train properly or hard in the first 2 weeks. And here are all the changes I made to make sure I actually feel good and train good. The first big change that I made to this training camp setup is that for the first 2 weeks, I really lowered the intensity of my sessions. I was still hitting the high mileage, but during week 1, I didn't do any track sessions, and during week 2, I only did 2 track sessions. No double threshold days for the first 2 weeks. That ensured that I acclimatized normally, and I felt good when I actually started hitting double threshold sessions and doing longer runs at higher intensities. Running at high altitude is already challenging enough for your body, so if you start doing hard training sessions right off the bat when you arrive, as well as trying to acclimatize and get used to the lower oxygen content, you're asking for trouble and your body will fight back. Number 2, I ensured that from the get-go I was consuming my iron supplements. For me personally, my iron count is already low, so I had to make sure I was taking double the doses that I would usually do at sea level to make sure I felt good and to ensure that my red blood cell production was in order. Number 3, as I have already mentioned, when you get to altitude, your body's fighting to adapt to the new stimulus, which is the lower oxygen content. So to make sure that your body has enough energy and that it's recovering correctly, you need to be sleeping as much as possible. The minimum is 7 to 9 hours at night, but if you can, try to do power naps during the day as well, and these could be a life changer, especially if you're doing double sessions further on in your training camp. And number 4 is all the extra supplementation I've been doing whilst here. During the last training camp, I realized that my protein intake was not high enough, so for this time round I have a myriad of protein products with me, which makes hitting the protein intake much more simpler. And then on top of that, I've also brought over creatine. Now I do have to highlight that protein and creatine supplementations are my baseline products that I use even when I'm not at high altitude training camp or at any training camp. But I was not using these products at the last training camp, and compared to the last training camp, in regards to recovery, I'm definitely feeling much better.